What is poppin', guys? It is your boy Ash Lee, and I am here today with our Week 4 battle of the IBA D2. So this week we are facing off against Aaron 2420, Aaron 2420. This dude is cool. I really like Aaron. I've talked to him probably the most out of all the people in D2. He's joined up with the UBLN to do some cartridge league stuff, which is pretty cool. And so I was really looking forward to this game. As you can see by the records displayed very largely on the screen, I'm 3-0 going into this game, plus 11 differential, which is insane. And Aaron is 1-2 after suffering some rough losses the past 2 weeks. So this definitely wasn't a game that I was felt great about coming into. Aaron's a great battler, and some of his mons on his team definitely scare me. Looking at his team right here, he brought Landorus, Therian, Greninja, Camerupt, Mantine, Florges, and Miss Magius. So this is a very interesting team to come against me. And looking at my team, I was a little concerned about how I was going to win this game. So let's go ahead and look at the sets that I brought. We'll go over here to Showdown. I think this is a little bit better than just blaring them to you. And I wasn't as ecstatic about my prep this week, as you can tell by some of these names. So this is OK Set, the Jirachi. This is Choice Scarf, U-Turn, Thunderbolt, Icy Wind, and Flash Cannon, with enough speed to outspeed, I think, a Scarf Landorus, if I'm not mistaken. So this is just a nice little overall Jirachi set. It's going to be able to U-turn out on things. It's got Thunderbolt for a lot of his different mons like Mantine, as well as Skarmory, which he did not bring. I knew it was a one or the other, but Thunderbolt hit both, so why not? Icy Wind for things like Landorus and just to keep things a little bit slower paced in general. And Flash Cannon is just some nice stab coverage. So here's a mon I have very high hopes for in this game. This is Dual Screens Cryogonal with Reflect, Light Screen, Freeze Dry, and Haze to stop him from setting up. I wasn't sure where to go on the spread of this, so I actually just went Max Speed, Max Special Attack, Timid, and hope to coast off that nice 135 special defense. So we'll see. I'm excited to bring Cryogonal. It's a really cool Pokemon, and if you look, I wish I had a stronger ice type, because his team really cannot handle a strong ice type with good coverage, and unfortunately I don't have one. I have Cryogonal, so hopefully that Freeze Dry will be able to put in a little bit of work, but I'm mainly using this to set screens for my boy Good Set, the Dragonite here. So this is Charizard X, oh my god, Dragonite, I'm so dumb. This is Charizard, this is Charizard X. It's Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Roost, and Flare Blitz. Nothing too fancy about it. Really hoping to just get behind those screens, set up the Dragon Dances that I need to win, and try to sweep and keep my health up with the Roost. That is why we have the Light Clay on Cryogonal, as you can see here. But this right here has just enough speed to outspeed everything not on his team's, everything not Scarf from his team after a Dragon Dance. So I was pretty much free to run Adamant, because as you can see, I did not need too much speed for that. Now this is a Vikavolt set. This is Volt Switch, Bug Buzz, Hidden Power Water for Camerupt, Air Slash with Assault Vest. And this has just enough speed to outspeed Mega Camera, Timid, Max Speed Mega Camera up by 1. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember. I know it was, well, not a Timid, a Modest. If his camera up was Modest Max Speed, I could outspeed it by 1 point. But this is a mon that I actually wish I would have brought a different set on. It could have put in a lot of work had I ditched something like Air Slash and Volt Switch and gone Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, Hidden Power Water, Agility. But that's for another, that's for later on. We'll talk about that. We have our boy Bad Set here. This is the Gliscor, Toxic Orb, Poison Heal, you know the drill. Max Defense, Max HP, Knockoff, U-Turn, Roost, and Toxic. Again, I said I didn't prep for this game as well as I probably should have. I like to spend a little bit more time on my individual sets, and with this one, once I had Cryogonal and Zard's strategy kind of set up, I was like, you know what, that seems like it'll work. The rest of this stuff is just filler, right? But I guess we'll see. We have Tentacool here with Black Sludge and Liquid Ooze, rocking Sludge Wave, Scald, HP Electric, and Rapid Spin, with just enough speed to outspeed pretty much most things on his team at max. So I guess we spent a couple minutes talking about the team. We're gonna exit out of Showdown here, save my computer's CPU a little bit, get those FPS jumping up, and we're just going to go ahead and look at the game, man, now that you guys kind of see what's popping with it. He's going to lead his Mega Camerupt, as I am going to go ahead and lead my Jirachi. So here, pretty much fearing something crazy, I'm going to go for the U-turn and move right into my Tentacool, I think. I'm fairly certain. No, I'm sorry, I go into my Gliscor. I wish I would have gone into my Tentacool. He's going to pretty much freely set up rocks here, which I could have anticipated would happen, and was more so hoping to threaten him out with the possibility of an Earthquake than to force him out with Tentacruel. I really should have gone Tentacruel because that's a free Rapid Spin right there to get that off, and I have HP Electric for this Mantine, but I'll settle for getting the Toxic off on Mantine. That's going to help a lot with wearing that thing down, seeing as how Vikavolt really only has Volt Switch, and my only other move to really take care of this thing is Hidden Power Electric on Tentacool. So here at turn 2 late, I go into Tentacool. It's going to take that Scald very well, but it is going to catch a burn, which negates that Black Sludge damage I'll be getting back up, which is a little unfortunate. But, I mean, what can you do, really? So, here, I didn't want to go for the HP Electric because I imagined he would switch, and I went for the Sludge Wave, hoping he would go into something. Well, actually, I kind of forgot that Mismagius resisted Sludge Wave. If I'd have thought about that, I would have gone for the Scald. But again, just not really into the battle yet mentally. And that's something I need to fix in the future, is definitely just trying to think on every single play, even if it is early game. So here I'm just going to go into this 0 special defense invested Gliscor because I don't want to risk my Cryogonal yet, and I figure that this is a pretty safe spot to throw off a knockoff because I feel like he anticipates that I'm going to Roost. So again, here I'm just going to go straight for the knockoff as he goes right back into his Mantine. So he's already pretty much made it clear that this is his way of walling my teams, so it's nice to get those leftovers off. So now that toxic damage is really going to start piling up, and there's not a whole lot he can do. I mean, he does have Roost, but again, that's a little bit spicy because a lot of these things on my team can wear it down. I've got Freeze Dry, I've got Hidden Power Electric, I will Volt Switch on this thing if I have to, and he's just going to go ahead and hit the Roost there while the toxic damage is still running a little bit low, as I'm going to switch in my Tentacruel and take a little bit of Rock's damage. So here, I thought that he might stay in, seeing that I went for Sludge Wave last time, and I actually get a crit on the Hidden Power Electric, which is really, really nice to wear this thing down, because as you can see, that does 10% to me. I'm already burned, so I'm not worried about catching a burn. And now here, I look at it and I go, I know he's going to switch out. I know he's going to switch out. So I don't want to Rapid Spin because of Mismagius. But despite telling myself over and over again that I didn't want to Rapid Spin, I went for Rapid Spin anyway. So you have to trust your gut here. These are good players. You can't just assume that they're going to do the bad move. Mismagius is a great switch in. You already proved. I have to go for Scald to do any sort of damage to this thing, as he's just going to fire off a Psychic as I fire off just another Scald. So here, I'm not sure what I want to switch into a Psychic, and I'm just going to let this Tentacruel die off. Maybe trying to catch him predicting a switch or something, but I don't know. Obviously don't have anything that's going to take that very well. And I wasn't sure what kind of item this Mismagius had yet. I know it doesn't have a damage boosting item, but right here I'm going to test and see if this boy is Scarf or not. Because if he switches out, then he's definitely Scarf. And as is confirmed, I think that this is a Scarfed Mismagius. So he is going to go into his Mantine here, as I'm going to knock it out with the Icy Wind to get my kill with Jirachi this week. Nice little Jirachi kill, and the game is at 5-5. So in comes Greninja, and I really don't have anything that has a whole lot to say to this bad boy right here. So I go right into Vikavolt, hoping that with the Assault Vest I will be able to live 2 Dark Pulses, and as you can see, it is definitely a roll that is in his favor to live a Dark Pulse. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry, he's Life Orb, so it really wasn't a roll at all. After I threw it in, I pretty much had to sack it, and that was a little bit of a bummer, seeing as I really could have used that Vikavolt later in the game. So here I'm going to go straight into Cryogonal, and fairly certain I just set up a Light Screen, which is a nice little tech there. Now, where the mistakes happen is switching right here instead of setting up the Reflect. See, the Reflect would have been super, super nice. See, my mind frame is oh, I'll just throw in this Jirachi and then U-turn, and he'll be on a special attacker, and I'll be able to get in my Charizard and start Dragon Dancing up. But As you can see there, I go for the flash cannon because I figured he might protect, and I wanted to bait him into staying in and moonblasting again or doing something weird like that. And I'm going to switch straight into my Charizard. So here he is actually going to switch out into his Landorus, which is absolutely the worst thing that he could have gone out to. But I have to try and get something off, like a roost or anything like that, because I am not behind a reflect, so it's not going to be subbing his damage any. So he actually goes for the rock polish there, which is really, really bad, because it means that after this dragon dance right here, which I do break through the flinch thankfully and get the dragon dance off, I'm still not going to outspeed this Landorus, and it's just going to rip me out of the sky with the earthquake and put me down. So there goes pretty much one of my best sweepers to handle all this stuff. Jirachi really can't do much to Mega Camera up. It can Icy Wind on Landorus, but seeing how it is scarfed, it's not really doing a whole lot. Cryogonal is just going to absolutely get shredded by that rock slide, unfortunately. And as I said, if I had just spent some time to set up the reflect instead of going straight in to Jirachi to U-turn into Charizard, which is also like it's like an absurd amount of turns to take. I'm just pretty much going to get swept by this rock polished Landorus. I mean, he's going to supersonic sky strike my Gliscor. I'm going to come in with the Jirachi. I am choice scarf, but anything I lock myself into is not going to be able to kill this whole team. Like pretty much nothing I lock myself into is going to be able to kill this whole team. As you can see, I'm just going to go right here for the Icy Wind, hoping that he would stand with the Landorus, allowing me to take it out and move this down to a little bit more of a reasonable 4-0. But unfortunately, that's not the case. He goes into his boy Donkey Dix here and lays down, I think, a Fire Blast. Yeah, there we go. And rips right through that Jirachi. So Aaron is going to take that game to the bank, move to 2-2, while I fall to 3-1. It was a really good game. He played very, very aggressively and pretty much made all of the correct predictions that he needed to do. He kind of read me like a book a little bit, to be honest. And this was a game I was really excited for, and it's nice. Obviously no one likes losing, you know, but I don't mind losing to a good player. I feel like it makes me better. I feel like I can look back on this game and see the plays where I could have done something different, or in this case, the prep I could have brought that would have made this game a little bit easier for me. But you know, we're growing as players, man. We're growing as players. But I have some cool news. This is actually going to be the last video on my channel you'll see being uploaded from the IBA D2. Now, don't worry, I didn't get kicked out or anything crazy like that. I actually got promoted to Division 1, where I will be playing and doing scheduled uploads every week with lots of other great battlers using some really cool GFX. I love these GFX, but the new ones are really, really cool as well. And just very excited to have gotten moved up. So really cool. We end our IBA D2 run at what is it now? 3-1 with a +7 differential. That's not too bad, man. That's not too shabby at all. I really like that. And honestly, I'm really hoping that I get some good games in the IBA D1. Anyway, I'm rambling as I always do at the end of these videos. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the bullshit. You know how it goes. And I will see y'all later. Peace.